with this particular thunderstorm, but we do have a new tornado warning coming out for southeastern Winnebago and southern Boone counties, and this goes until 3:45. So this is actually for another hour that this warning has been issued for. And if we zoom out a little bit, you're going to be able to see where we've got a little bit of this rotation where the winds are coming in towards the radar and where you have wind that is coming out and away from the radar. So you've got some broad rotation here just on the eastern and northeastern end here of the downtown Rockford area. So if we were to time this out for you as the storm moves to the east at 25 miles per hour, we're looking at some areas that could potentially be impacted. Cherry Valley, even though it's not showing up on here, this storm will be close to you within the next 5 minutes. Belvedere, right around 3 o'clock, a little after 3. Timberlane, just a little after 3 o'clock, 3:10. Poplar Grove, a little after 3 o'clock, about 3:05, 3:10. If this storm continues to hold on to its rotation. Again, this is radar indicated rotation with this particular thunderstorm that is now east here of the downtown Rockford area, but we do have an active tornado warning for southeastern Winnebago County and now Boone County, and this goes until 3:45. This is all associated with a line of thunderstorms. And you know, on radar, it doesn't really look like we've got a lot of rotation. This is a Boeing segment coming through, a line of thunderstorms coming through, really merging into that line as it moves off to the east. This line as a whole is moving to the east now at about 70 miles per hour. So if we were to put a storm track on this, this is jetting off to the east very, very quickly here, and will be impacting areas even a little bit further into Boone and DeKalb counties very, very soon. So just within the matter of about 20 to 25 minutes or so. But again, our focus is on the northern extent, and sometimes with these lines of thunderstorms you can get these little areas of rotation, and that's exactly what we're seeing with this particular storm. Now that's moving into east and southeastern Winnebago County, just to the northwest here of Cherry Valley. So if you are anywhere from, let's say, from McChesney Park down to Cherry Valley, what we're looking at right now is the rotation, and it's broad rotation, but it's there. The broad rotation of that storm right now is just to the west of Alpine. So Alpine Road here in Rockford on the east side of Rockford. That's where we're starting to see this broad rotation right in through here. But if you're really anywhere from the McChesney Park to Loves Park area to Cherry Valley, you need to make sure that you are seeking shelter with this. Since we do have a tornado warning, again, radar indicated rotation, and that's what you see as that storm has kind of moved further to the east, merged a little bit. We had a couple of thunderstorms that were merging just a little bit a while ago, and you've got a little bit of rotation that has developed with that. Even if we do not get a tornado with this thunderstorm, you are still potentially going to get some winds upwards of 70 to 80 miles per hour. So this is still going to do some pretty significant damage as this line of thunderstorms roll through. But right now what we're focused on is that tornado warning that has been issued until 3:45. So this is now for the next 50 minutes or so here for east, central, and southeastern Winnebago County and Boone County. So Belvedere and Cherry Valley, you are included in that warning. So being in that warning, you want to make sure that you seek shelter In your basement, if you do not have a basement, it's the lowest level of your home. And again, I want to point out where exactly we are seeing some of that rotation. So I'm going to take the warnings off, and I'm going to stay with this just because they are so active with that here. So I am going to stay with this as long as this warning does continue. I'm going to come back out here on the wall, so hopefully we're all set to go with that. But here we are in eastern Winnebago County and southeastern Winnebago County, and you've got some of that rotation where you see the green and the red coming in together associated with that. So here we're looking at Guilford Road. You've got Alpine right here. Green indicates the wind is coming in towards the radar, and red indicates that the wind is coming away from the radar. So we've got this line of thunderstorms rolling through, which will have some very heavy rain. Even outside of tornado threat, you still have winds that could potentially be as high as 70 to 80 miles per hour with this thunderstorm. And we've got now a new scan with our radar coming in. So now we're getting closer to the 3990 interstate here that goes up north into Wisconsin, but still actually almost looks like it's tightening up just a little bit as the rotation now is kind of getting up closer towards the Riverside Boulevard area and getting closer to that Interstate 90. So if you're anywhere in this location, Rockford, we are in the clear. The rotation associated with this tornado warning is just up to the northeast of here. So we are in the clear with that. Still, there are some pretty hefty thunderstorms coming through, but that rotation is just to the northeast here of the downtown Rockford area. So for anyone from Guilford up to, let's say, just north of Riverside, this is kind of the area that we're watching as that rotation comes in here over Interstate 90 and 39 as it moves into southeastern and eastern Winnebago County, and now we'll be moving into Boone County. Also want to run down some of the warnings that we have additionally to some of the severe thunderstorm warnings that we have with this, and you can almost see actually almost see a little bit here of kind of a notch coming in with that the thunderstorms where we've got a little bit kind of an inflow right in through here with that. So what we're actually looking at is well, now that I'm looking at this too, let me okay. All right. So we've got the leading edge of these this line. It's now getting into Boone County. It's up here just south of Rockton, up towards Belvedere, now through the Kirkland, Fairdale area, getting down towards Esmond, and out through Malta. But what I also kind of draws my attention to a little bit, and we've got new tornado warning out for Boone County, moving to the northeast now at 30 miles per hour. So let's put on our warnings where we can see this. So getting just a little bit concerned here. As I mentioned before, that rotation is starting to tighten up just a little bit more with that last scan that I showed you. So this new tornado warning coming out does include now the Poplar Grove area, Caledonia, Capron, Candlewick Lake, Timberland, just a little after 3 o'clock, so within about the next 10 minutes. Poplar Grove, you're looking at a time roughly about 3:10, and Capron, if the storm continues on its path, we're looking now here at about 3:20. So as I mentioned just a little while ago, the rotation with this thunderstorm, let me take the warnings off of here, the rotation with this thunderstorm is actually starting to tighten up just a little bit. And I don't know with that. So some areas that we're looking at and roads that we're looking at with this rotation. So it's just to the east and southeast of the McChesney Park, Loves Park area. So for those that are along the Bell School Road, it's getting very close there to the 3990 interstate. So right in through here from the Riverside area, from Bell School Road, between Alpine, Bell School, and Riverside, and even now up towards 39 in itself. So you go a little bit further east here on Riverside and up towards Argyle. We're really starting to see that rotation kind of tighten up just a little bit here actually with that. So let's go ahead and put a storm track on this. This storm is moving, it shifted a little bit to the northeast at about 30 miles per hour. So if you are in the path of this storm, you want to make sure that you seek shelter indoors, away from windows, get into the lowest level of your home possible. Again, this is radar indicated. We do not have any confirmed tornadoes with this, but this is radar indicated rotation with the northern end of this thunderstorm as it is moving through here and moving out of Winnebago County and now getting into western Boone County. So we're really going to be watching areas from like Capron and Caledonia, Poplar Grove. The strongest part in the rotation part of the storm might actually move just to the north here of the Belvedere area, but nonetheless, Belvedere, you're still under a tornado warning as that line of thunderstorms comes in. So even though this is radar indicated, you still want to take this serious. Basement, if you do not have a basement, it's the lowest level of your home. Interior room, preferably a room that does not have any windows with it. The idea here is you want to put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. So again, we do have an active tornado warning. The worst part of this storm is moving out of the Winnebago County area, and this is getting into the Boone County area right now. So just from north of Belvedere up towards Poplar Grove, as it's kind of shifted a little bit more up to the northeast here, it's actually coming up along 173. So now that rotation kind of crossing over Interstate 39 and 90, and now coming up towards 173 for us here this afternoon. So if you're up around the Poplar Grove area or the Capron, Caledonia area, you want to make sure that you seek shelter. Again, this is radar indicated rotation. Let's put on our active tornado warnings that we have associated with this. And these warnings go out until 3:45 here this evening. We also have some additional severe thunderstorm warnings. Let me go back here on radar now with the storms that are moving through Kingston and Genoa, down through Sycamore, right down through 23, DeKalb, getting into central and southern DeKalb County. You've got some active severe thunderstorm warnings with this line. This could in itself produce winds 70 to 80 miles per hour. And I do want to go back to the velocity with this because while we have that rotation now getting through the Winnebago and Boone County line, there's also along the leading edge a little bit of rotation just to the northwest here of the Genoa area. Right now we've got just a severe thunderstorm warning out, but it is possible that with that we could also get a quick spin up tornado. So that's why you want to heed these warnings. The good news for us is the worst of this is now moving to the east, and soon we'll be moving into McHenry County. It'll be moving out of DeKalb County, and it'll be moving in towards the Chicago area because this storm is moving so quickly to the east at about 70 miles per hour. But where you actually get these little notches, and that's kind of what I want to show you here, where you get these little notches right in here, that's where we could have some quick spin-ups with tornadoes. So where we're looking at the velocity, and I don't see much of that coming in here from the Milwaukee Weather Service radar. I see a little bit of it on the Chicago radar where you've got the red and green. Again, this is not significant rotation. It's broad rotation, but it's on the little notch that we had and when we looked at the reflectivity with that. So again, you want to heed the warnings with that. Because even a 70 to 80 mile per hour wind gust is still going to do some pretty significant damage. Let's see. New warning or same warning coming out. Warning remains in effect for Lee, Ogle, severe thunderstorm warning in Winnebago counties until 3:15. So that's just a little under 15 minutes here. The storm is moving to the east now. It's located from near Capron all the way down through Waterman. So that's all the way down here into southern DeKalb County here in Waterman. That storm is moving off to the east now at about 70 miles per hour. So it is booking, guys. If you're watching us from the west, so if you're watching us out here, good news, the worst of it is over. So from Monroe to Freeport to Polo, really anywhere west of 39, we're for the most part in the clear. The exception to that is going to be up here in northern Winnebago County and Janesville as well. We do have severe thunderstorm warnings out for Greene and Rock County and even Walworth County until 3:30 here this afternoon. But our focus is with this. And you know, guys, I really want to, I don't know if it's possible to pull up the Poplar Grove. We've got kind of our quad view on that, so I don't know if it's possible to pull up the Poplar Grove camera. I'd probably have to do that here on my own. But let's look at our velocity with this once again. Still showing some rotation with that, but also showing a little bit more of a wind signature, getting up towards 76, so up towards the Poplar Grove area, so Illinois 76, radar measuring wind speeds upwards of 60 miles per hour. So again, even if we don't get a tornado with this, we could still get winds on the order of 60 to 70 miles per hour. And where we see actually a little bit of that brighter green showing up here, so from Caledonia Road, from Caledonia, right down through, let's see, what are we looking at here? Squaw Prairie Road, anywhere between there. Radars indicating some pretty substantial winds, kind of bowing out a little bit with that. The tornado warning for southeastern Winnebago County has been canceled. The worst of that storm has moved out of the area. So again, new radar image coming in. Now we're looking at northwestern Boone County here. So we've got tornado warning that does continue for Boone County, and that warning goes until 3:45 here. So we're still showing some rotation associated with that. But once again, that tornado warning for southeastern Winnebago County has been canceled. So that is definitely some good news for us. Just looking at some of the velocity with this, and that rotation has kind of weakened. It's become a little bit more broad as it's moving into northern portions here of Boone County. But it's still there. So it's radar indicated rotation, thunderstorm located over Candlewick Lake or near Poplar Grove, actually just to the north here, the Poplar Grove area, moving to the northeast at 30 miles per hour. So we've kind of shifted our direction here as that storm moves off to the northeast at 50 miles per hour. So if we put a storm track on that, and we continue to look some of the areas where we could see the impacts from this. So if you're anywhere now, we're kind of into a little bit more of the rural area, northern Boone County. But nonetheless, if you are in the path of this storm, you want to make sure that you seek shelter. So remember, basement. If you do not have a basement, it's an interior room. You want to put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. You don't want to pick a room that has any windows, a bathroom or a closet like that that has windows, because that can do some damage. So what we're kind of looking at with this, you've actually got a little bit of an inflow coming in with this, all right? And you've got this storm right in here. So this is kind of why we're seeing that rotation. This is on the northern edge of this bowing segment of this line of thunderstorms as it's now moving through DeKalb County, likely producing some pretty significant winds. So far we have not had any wind damage reports, at least locally from what I can see. I don't know, let's see. Perfect. All right, so let's go to the Poplar Grove SkyTrack. This is kind of what we're looking at. This is our SkyTrack camera out in the Poplar Grove area. I don't know if anybody in the newsroom can hear me now, but if somebody could come in here or maybe bring somebody in here into the Weather Center just real fast. But this is what it looks like currently out at the Poplar Grove Airport. This is our SkyTrack camera. You can see visibility is very, very poor. The worst of this is just to the north and to the northwest, where we've got that rotation associated with that. So moving into northern Boone County, but you can see the very heavy rain and even the wind too associated with that particular storm. So let's go back to our radar scan. Thanks so much, Brad, for that, because we still do have our tornado warnings that do continue. Now, I'm not overly concerned right now, just looking at the velocity. Belvedere, the worst part is now to your east. So you are in the clear. You're still going to get some really heavy rainfall, but probably some gusty winds, but any rotation is now up to the north of us with this thunderstorm. And so the rotation associated with the northern edge of the storm now getting up towards what we're looking at is 76 and Elevator Road. So kind of into the northern and northwestern portions of Boone County. So we still do have that active tornado warning that does continue until 3:45. And again, this is all radar indicated rotation. So we have not had any confirmed reports of any tornadoes just yet. Looking at, I see a couple of damage reports coming in from Carroll County, some wind damage associated with that. Let's see. Getting some reports of a possible tornado. Going to have to look into that. Some quarter-sized hail. But again, this is all radar indicated rotation with this particular storm as it's now moving into northern Boone County. So again, if you are in the path of that, that warning goes until 3:45. You want to make sure that you seek shelter and remain indoors as that storm passes through. Nonetheless, you are going to get some very strong winds, which in itself could also do some pretty significant damage here on the order of 70 to even 80 miles per hour with that. So the rotation that happened with this and why we're seeing that, we don't have a supercell structure per se with this storm. We've actually got a line of thunderstorms and a bowing segment here that's really maintained itself and likely will be classified as a derecho, but has maintained itself all the way from the plains early this morning through Iowa. And if we look at a lot of the damage reports that we have, there's a few reports that are starting to come in here from around the Rockford area, some hail reported in Freeport, some damage here, let's see, around the Foreston area. We're looking at multiple trailers blown over by wind, numerous trees down in the Foreston area. These are some of the damage reports that we're getting. So we are starting to see them trickle in just a little bit. Tree damage, estimated wind with this particular storm from the Rockford area, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So this has really maintained its strength. The good news for us is the worst of it now is continuing to move off to the east with that. There is a new tornado warning coming out. This does include far eastern DeKalb County. So this is moving into the Kane County area. This is east of DeKalb, east of Waterman, and this is actually right near the DeKalb and Kane County line. So this is moving out of our area. So for southeastern DeKalb County, that new warning coming out until 3:45 here for us. But this line of thunderstorms in the leading edge of the storm now moving into the Chicago area. Just looking too at some of the reports that are coming in, Dixon reports of some wind damage down in that area, power out in the Garden Prairie area. We're starting to see the warnings canceled now out to the west where the worst of this has passed through. So warnings canceled for Greene and Stevenson, Carroll and Whiteside counties, Joe Davies County, but that warning still does continue. Winnebago, Ogle and Lee County, although that warning does expire Belvedere here at 3:15. But our active concern that we're paying a little closer attention to is with the tornado warning that we do have. Belvedere, you guys, the worst of it is to your east. Even though you are still under that tornado warning, the worst of it now is to the east of you, where we've got that rotation on the northern edge. This is a bookend vortice. So on the northern edge, sometimes of these lines of thunderstorms, you can get these rotations and this broad rotation, and that's what we've got as it kind of crosses up now over Elevator Road. It's just to the north here and west of 76, and then up towards Manchester here in far northern Boone County. This will soon be moving into southern Wisconsin, and this will soon be moving into southeastern Rock County and then into Walworth County. But still, we could have still some gusty winds where we're actually looking at some of these brighter greens here showing up on our velocity scan. Winds 60 to even 70 miles per hour. So this is right along here, Capron Road, just to the east of the Poplar Grove area here in northeastern and eastern Boone County. So McHenry County, heads up for you folks. You've got that storm working in your direction too. And we go down our velocity here. Let me switch this over real fast. We go down the velocity. You can actually see the leading edge now with the strongest part of that storm working out now of DeKalb County. So that's good news. We can say good riddance to this storm as we've had some damage and some reports come in with this. But this has been a monster of a system that has really worked in from the east. But again, kind of eyeing this storm. Again, haven't had any reports yet, just yet of any confirmed tornadoes. I do want to look. Had some reports of some quarter-sized hail in the Belvedere area, in Boone County. Some reports so far. The storm reports are starting to trickle in now that the storm has kind of passed off to the east. So some storm reports coming in back off to the west for us here. But again, the good news, the worst part of the storm continues to work off to the east. You're still not out of the clear, though, in Boone County. And if you are under that tornado warning, you want to make sure that you heed that warning and get into your basement or the lowest level of your home, as we still have that active tornado warning that continues until 3:45. The worst part of that storm kind of moving in here now and getting into far northern Boone County, and we'll move up towards southeastern Rock County and then into Walworth County. What you actually kind of notice here too is on the northern fringe of this, as we've kind of put this in motion, you actually almost kind of see this little counterclockwise spin coming in behind it. It's possible that we could actually get some winds, some gusty winds on the back side of this. So even though the worst of that storm has moved out, you could very well be getting some gusty winds on the back side of this, as we might even get a little bit of a wake low that develops as a result of that. So let's run down these warnings real fast. I'm going to continue our Facebook Live here once we get off air, but we do have tornado warning for Boone County. Belvedere, you're included in this warning, but again, the worst of that is to your east, so you're coming out of the clear here. Got a report of some marble-sized hail just north here of Capron, and also a report, as I mentioned, we've got some strong winds gusting there in the Freeport area. So, you know, you're going to get some strong winds too, even on the backside of this, outside of any severe thunderstorms associated with that. But here we've got tornado warning until 3:45 for the Boone County area. You've got severe thunderstorm warning for DeKalb County, and then a new tornado warning out for eastern DeKalb County, although the worst part of that storm is now moving into Kane County, so it will be moving out of the area. So if you are in the northern Boone County area, you want to make sure that you seek shelter. Rotation starting to kind of broaden up a little bit. here north of Poplar Grove. Wondering if you're out of the clear there, or in the clear, I should say, and give it about another 10-15 minutes or so as the worst part of that rotation, that broad rotation, is moving up to the northeast. So give it about another 10-15 minutes and you'll be in the clear there. But where we're kind of keeping an eye on some of that rotation here as it moves up into Wisconsin now, kind of up over the Hunter area, and then here we are now in southern Wisconsin from Rock and Walworth counties up through 67. That was a really big thunder here. So again, the worst of that storm is to our east. It continues to move off to the east. If you're under that warning, you've got about another 15 minutes or so. Tornado warning for about another 20 minutes for Boone County. Northern Boone County heads up northwest. McHenry County heads up, and getting into Walworth County heads up for you. There are going to be some gusty winds on the back side of this. You're going to get some strong winds too, kind of coming in with some of these showers and even some of these thunderstorms too on the back side of this. But we're starting to see these warnings now canceled or expired from west to east. I'm going to continue to keep you updated here on our Facebook pages, so be sure to follow those as we go through the rest of this afternoon. For now, I'm going to return you back to regular programming.